So to prepare you for high school, I am going to go over some concepts that you're going to see next year in Math 10C. So this is if you are registered and are taking Math 10C. This will help you understand some of the concepts. Also, I know a lot of you are thinking, can you do Math 10C, or are thinking about taking Math 15 and want to take Math 10C. This is a good indicator on whether or not you're going to be able to handle what Math 10C has to offer. So I'm going to do some review on exponents. You guys did a little activity before the video, so we're going to talk about exponents in a fraction form and how we translate it between a fractional exponent and a radical. So we all know that when we multiply two powers with the same base, so a to the power of m, a to the power of n, we add their exponents. So that was one of our rules. So if I were to take 5 to the power of 1/2 and times it to 5 to the power of 1/2, I would get 5 to the power of 1/2 plus 1/2, which would equal to 5 to the power of 1, right? So what does 5 to the power of 1/2 mean? So basically what it is it's raising a power or raising a number to the power of 1/2 is the same thing as making it a square root. Okay, so x to the power of 1/2 is the exact same thing as saying this is equivalent to the square root of x. Okay, so that's what raising 1/2 or x to the power of 1/2 is. So if I show you with these 5s up here, if I were to take, so instead of keeping it as 5 to the power of 1/2, if I were to take the square root of 5 and times it by the square root of 5. So that's exactly what this translates to. So 5 to the power of 1/2 times 5 to the power of 1/2 is square root of 5 times square root of 5. Well, you're going to learn this rule. And when we multiply radicals, we just multiply what's on the inside of them. Even if you put this in your calculator, okay, we're going to end up getting the square root of, well, what's 5 times 5? 25. Well, what's the square root of 25? That's 5. So that's where this relationship comes from, is that the square root and 5 to the power of 1/2 mean the exact same thing. Okay, so if I take and raise a number to the power of 1/3, it's the same thing as taking the cubed root of that number. So in this case, x to the power of 1/3 is the cubed root. Well, I take the cubed root by representing it like this. Sorry, the cubed root of x. So that's what it means. So it says here, for any number with an exponent of a fraction, the radical can be written as so. So if it's x to the power of m over n is the part of your radical, and m is raised to that exponent. So here, if I take 1 over 3, my 3 went down here, whereas my 1 would go, if I put this in brackets, up here to the power of 1. So this exponent, or the numerator in the exponent, came up here, and then your denominator was part of your radical. Okay? So this is an image of what it would look like. So we'll do some practice questions, and then you guys can practice on your own. So it says here, write the following as a radical. So I'm just going to pick, we'll do green. Okay, so the 16 to the power of 1/2 is the same thing as the square root. Now we don't have to put a 2 here because we already know what's the square root, but you know what, I'll do it anyways. Square root of 16 to the power of 1. Well, what's the square root of 16? It's just 4, and 4 to the power of 1 is just 4. Okay, my next one here. 27 over 8, all to the power of 2/3. So we learned in grade 9 that we need to distribute this exponent to both the numerator and the denominator. So that means that we end up getting 27 to the power of 2/3 over 8 to the power of 2/3. So we need to distribute that exponent, multiply it to what was already there. Okay, apologies for my writing here. So if I just move this over, well, if I rewrite this, I end up getting, as a radical, the cubed root, because my 3 comes down here, the cubed root of 27 to the power of 2. And the same on the denominator, cubed root of 8 to the power of 2. To the power of 2. And what do I get when I do that? So I just need to, so the cubed root of 27. So that means 3 numbers that multiply to give me 27. Well, 3 numbers that multiply to give me 27 that are the same as 3. So that's 3 to the power of 2 now. And under here is 2 times 2 times 2 gives me 8. So it's 2 to the power of 2, which is 9 over 4. 9 over 4. Okay, it's that easy. I mean, all these are pretty straightforward. If we were to do the opposite, so if I want to do the opposite and write the following as an exponent, so if I want to write these as an exponent, so this here is the exact same thing as 4, the cubed root of 4 to the power of 1. So if I were to rewrite this, it would be 4 to the power of 1 over 3. Remember, your exponent comes from your numerator and your radical comes from your denominator. In this case, this is the square root. So this would be a 2 here. Square root of 7. So that's 7 to the power of, exponent goes up here, 2. So 3 to the power of 2. And then this one here is 3 to the power of 5 over 3. And that's it.